Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the reliability of the sampling data, which is a part of your previous video. So firstly go through the previous two videos in which we have studied about the random sampling and the non-random sampling methods. So only after that you will be able to understand the reliability of the sampling data. So what do you mean by this reliability of sampling data? So like in the previous videos, we have studied about the methods of the sampling. So on what basis we can say that the samples which we have taken from the population are reliable in nature or not? Or will the samples taken out from the population will give us the requisite results? So that can be judged through these following four factors. Firstly is the size of the sample. Now basically the reliability of the sampling data depends on the size of the sample, that is according to the given population or according to the number of items of a given population, how much size we have taken of the sample. So if the size is very much small, we will not be able to represent the whole population from that small size of the sample. Therefore, the conclusions which we will make out from those samples will not be reliable. So the size of the sample must be chosen accurately so that those samples will represent the population in a very reliable manner. So the size of the sample must not be either too small, either too large. It must represent the whole population. In that manner, the size of the sample must be chosen. The next one is the method of sampling. Now the method of the sampling must be chosen according to the characteristics of our population. So if the method of the sampling is not simple, it will not adequately represent the population. Therefore, a method which is simple in nature as well as it represents the characteristics of the whole population, that method of sampling must be used. The third one is the biasness. The biasness may be of the enumerators. Now the method in which the biasness of the enumerators is almost negligible or is very much less, only that method of sampling must be chosen so that the reliability of the sampling data may be maintained. And the last one is the training of enumerators. Now as we know, the sampling methods includes certain steps to be followed in the sampling, and along with that the reliability of the sample also depends on the training of the investigators or the enumerators. So therefore the enumerators firstly need to be trained and make them expert in their field of investigation. Otherwise, the sample will lack reliability if the enumerators are not trained enough in sampling of the data. So these were the main factors which will make the sampling data more reliable. Now the question arises, which method of the collection of data must be preferred to the other one? So first we will study the difference between the census method and the sample method. After that we will make out that conclusion. So the first basis of difference is coverage. Now as we know, in census method all the items in the population are covered, but on the other hand in the sample method only some items are covered from the population as the sample. The next one is the suitability. Now the census method is suitable when the area of investigation is relatively small so that all the items in the population can be easily covered. On the other hand, in the sample method, it is suitable when the area of investigation is large. That is, when we need to investigate a large area, we can make out the samples from the given population and can base our result on those samples taken out. The third basis of difference is the accuracy. In case of census method, as each and every item of the population is covered, therefore greater degree of accuracy is there, but the error cannot be easily detected in case of census method, because in this a very large number of items of the population are covered. Therefore it is not possible to detect the errors in this case, as we will need to study each and every item again for detecting the errors, which will include lots of efforts, time and money again. But in case of sample method, the errors can be easily detected and removed because only some items of the universe are covered in this method. But if we talk about accuracy, the accuracy is less as compared to that of the census method. The next one is the cost. As we know, in census method, all items are covered, therefore it is more expensive. But the sample method is less expensive because of the inclusive of only some items from the universe. The next basis of difference is the time. The census method is more time consuming, but the sample method is less time consuming because of the involvement of only few items. The next basis of difference is the nature of items. Basically, census method is used when the population have diverse characteristics or the different characteristics. Therefore, we cannot use sample method in this case. Otherwise, the results will not be reliable for us. And the sample method is used when population items are homogeneous, that is, they are of similar characteristics. Only then the sample method will prove out to be reliable. And the last basis of difference is the verification. Now, in case of census method, because of the involvement of the large items of a certain population, the verification of the data is not possible. But in sample method, the data can be easily verified because only few items of the given population are included in this method. So this was all about the difference between the census method and the sample method. So from this we can conclude that the sample method of statistical investigation is generally preferred to the census method because the sample method is less expensive, but less expensive in terms of time, money and efforts involved. As we have studied that sample method includes less time, money as well as less efforts as compared to the census method. But a condition over here is that the sample which we are choosing must represent the characteristics of the whole population so that the results which we are taking out proves out to be reliable, and the factors which we have studied about the reliability of the sampling data must also be considered. Only then the sample method can give out the best results. So this was all about your chapter number 3, in which we studied about the census and sample method of statistical inquiry along with the various terms related to these inquiries and the methods of sampling, in which we covered the random sampling as well as the non-random sampling, and along with that the difference between the two methods, that is the census and sample method. So this was all about our today's video. I hope that all of you understood what I have explained in the video. Thank you so much.